There's a really strong message coming through this morning. He wants to be seen. Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to my channel, Intuitive Awakening. It's all things energy, readings, books, and love. So I want to get right to this message from Spirit. I feel this one come through, I don't want to say often, but pretty often. And I think that's because collectively this is definitely something that we all feel. We really want to be seen. So I had a dream this morning where it felt like it was me. It was first person, a woman, and she was in an auditorium filled with people, and she was walking into the auditorium to find her seat. And she went down an aisle and she saw that the people she was supposed to be joining were in the aisle in front of her. So here she was in the middle of an aisle, and she decided she was going to step over the seat, which was pretty easy to do in the dream, and take her seat there. But the feeling that I had this morning about this when I woke up, well, it was in the dream as well, but it was even stronger this morning, was of being seen or of being watched. So this message will resonate with you however it needs to, because it can have multiple meanings based on you, your own circumstances, what you're feeling right now. And that could even change. You could come back to this later and it could mean something else. So it's one of the things that's always interesting about this work. So initially the download was, I want to be seen, I need to be seen, or I'm being watched. But then it came from Spirit, he wants to be seen. So we are often mirroring things for people too. So then I thought, okay, in the dream, what felt like mine was actually his, showing me that he wants to be seen. I say he, but it's they for you, whoever this person might be. It could be you, but whoever it is, don't worry that I'm saying the word he. If it fits for you, it fits for you, however it fits for you. So I wanted to talk about the other meaning though. So being seen is really the feeling of someone seeing us fully for who we are without any words. They just know. They have a strong sense of us, or we have a strong sense of them. It's the feeling of being fully supported, not being judged. And then the other meaning that came in, or the other sense that came in, was of being watched, because here was this woman in this auditorium and everybody else was already in their seats. And so she certainly was literally being watched by people. But there was also this feeling that there was someone specific there to see her, to observe her, to watch her. Maybe because this was a safe way that the person could do so. Maybe this person really wanted to see her and he could safely do so in an auditorium like this, surrounded by a lot of other people. So it was a safe environment where he could physically put his eyes on this woman, on this person. And it wasn't a negative feeling for the woman, for the person. It wasn't negative. That feeling of being watched, it wasn't creepy. It wasn't weird. It was, I want to say kismet is the word I have right now, which is strange. I don't use that word a lot. Necessary. It felt like something he had to do and that she knew he needed to do. It felt right. And then it also brings along another piece. So it's really multifaceted here. Again, this is for the collective, so just take this if it's for you. But if you're in a situation with a person where you feel that maybe they have seen you somewhere around. Maybe you live in the same area and it's someone you haven't spoken to in a while, but you are sensing that they are seeing you. And that's physical. Of course, you may have that sense on the plane, as I like to call it. But I'm talking about physically. You may have sensed that they have seen you somewhere physically, even though you might not have seen them. And so this is just really carrying that strong sense of being observed. And then I'm getting another piece from Spirit right now that ultimately you're being seen by God, by the divine, by Source, whatever it is you call that presence in your life. That's a part that is you. So on the bigger picture is that you are being seen by God. You are being held by God. And that is something that is constant. Whereas with people, we might feel like it's fluid. You know, we might feel seen one day and invisible another. But with God, it is constant. You're always being seen. Not only are you being seen in the first way that we talked about, that you're being not judged, you're being seen fully for who you are, you're being supported in all those emotional ways that you need and desire, but you're literally being observed physically by this wonderful source of love, by your guides who are always there observing you and caring for you. So it's really just, it's a beautiful thing to remember when you might get wrapped up in the human part of it, thinking that you need to be validated by another human, is to just go within and remember that you're always being seen by this love that is all around you. Oh, I'm getting a little emotional because it's just so, I didn't expect that part to come in. So that was just really, really beautiful. So I'm going to pull a card from the Rumi Oracle deck. And the card is From Nothing to Everything. So I'm going to look up the message in the book. And it's usually a couple of pages here, and I just try to find some points here that I think will really resonate with what we're already talking about. So just give me a moment here. From nothing to everything. Okay, so I'm kind of honing in on this one part. It says, then something magical happens. We participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us. Present it to us, happening through us as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace. The sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. I like that word grace. We hear the word gratitude a lot. We don't necessarily hear the word grace a lot. So maybe that's just a word that will come up for you and help you in the days to come. Because sometimes when if we're struggling or having a challenging moment, sometimes it's just one word that can snap us out of that. And maybe it's the word grace. And then I like too that it mentioned the divine assistance. So that goes along with the reading, that you're always being supported by the divine, by Source, by love, by God. I know I'm kind of going out into another space now, so I'm not sure if something else is trying to come in with this card or if it's just time to end the reading. From nothing to everything. This is just an interesting card. I feel like what I'm getting from Spirit is that you are already everything. So you're never nothing. There is never nothing. It's always everything. There's always so much inside of you eternally. I think because we think in our human terms, the word nothing can seem negative. It's usually this kind of sentence, this kind of phrase usually goes along with people who came from nothing and then gained everything. So a lot of times it comes from a material point of view. And so I think that's why my brain is having a little bit of a struggle with it, because I think the message from Spirit is that you already are everything. Everything is already inside of you. Okay, so I think that's going to end the reading for today. Please like this video, share it with someone who you think might really enjoy it, and please follow for more. I'll see you in the next reading.